You are watching Hot Springs Village Venues.
Hey, Dennis Simpson here with Hot Springs Village Venues again, and we're back this session with Mr. Carrol from SHIPP and Miss Cyrie from KVRE, and we're going to talk today about what everybody talks about Medicare and obviously how it's just tied in by COVID-19, which is literally changing our world. Carrol, what do you see happening?
What we've seen is the fact that we've really done the same thing we've done with all our programs. We've got to get the information out about COVID-19. Wear your mask, wash your hands, those things that go through it. But on the other side of it, what is Medicare doing for those on Medicare with COVID-19?
Sure.
One of the things that we've seen is the simple fact that the COVID-19 test is free if you're on Medicare.
Oh, really?
There's not a charge. You simply pull out your Medicare card. They'll write down the numbers. They may take a picture of it, whatever technology is there at the time to do the testing, and then they will conduct that test. Wherever the test it can be. It can be at your primary care physician, maybe at a hospital, maybe at a pharmacy. Wherever that test is given, there won't be a charge.
Okay, and I want to interject again, just for those of you who may not have seen the first episode. SHIPP stands for
the Senior Health Insurance Information Program.
The Senior Health Insurance Information Program, which is a free service, and here are the logo, the URLs here at the bottom, but this is a free service that helps you get the most out of Medicare.gov, basically.
Correct, and I just think COVID-19 twisted us a little bit to what we normally do, but it twisted everything else, in the world. So why would it be any different? But we're still here to provide you information. This time it's pertaining to COVID-19.
Right. So, and to reiterate, Cyrie, the COVID-19 test is free for anybody who has their Medicaid card.
Right.
Medicare
card. Excuse me, Medicare card. I'm still learning all this, I'm a young...
We're overwhelming you.
You are, and I'm a young... Yeah, well, let's move on. But that said, where do you see that COVID-19 is going to take us with this? I mean, where are we going?
I think it's going to allow things to enhance. It's going to enhance our services. They're telling us not to get together in group masses. Well, all of a sudden, if you have a pandemic or you have flu season, imagine when you had the flu and you had to go to the doctor's office.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're at the point now where we've kind of thought maybe we can provide the health care through a different medium, whether that be through telehealth, where you pick up the phone, you call. It's the same thing as an appointment. You're probably going to have to do a lot more self-testing, say with your temperature, maybe with your blood pressure, especially when we're dealing with Medicare-aged clients.
Right.
And then the other side of that is, it will further advance to where you're looking at people doing FaceTime. You're on your computer and they're on their computer, and you're actually having interaction with your physician or nurse assistant through that. So I think we're seeing technology be put to use at its best.
Yeah.
At the worst time with COVID-19, we're still seeing the best technology can offer our citizens.
I think so, and I want to reiterate to my listeners and viewers, for those of you that are watching and know that I have an IT background, I'm a techie. That's what I do. And you're watching my signal right now through a 1080 by 1920 screen, and that is what we consider today a high-definition screen. The old televisions we used were SD, and when you look back on them now and you look at a VCR recording, you're like, how could on Earth, how could a doctor look at a SD or a VCR recording and see, that my eyes are bloodshot, or that my complexion's bad, or that I'm dehydrated? I got news for you. As soon as we go to Ultra HD and HD, the doctor could very easily with telemedicine say, I think there's a little scarring on your hand there. Is that, what is this? And so we're going to have more diagnosis like that, you think?
Correct. There actually is a documented thing with Flip This House or something. It's one of the shows that's on HD, where one of the hosts actually had a lump in his throat.
Yes,
she called it in.
Christina
that's right. I was going to bring that up. Tariq.
Right. And she saw that. That was 5 years ago.
And said, hey, you've got a problem with your throat. And literally life saved his life.
It did.
Throat cancer, I agree. I was going to bring that up, but I didn't know if this was
so the point of I look back at our parents and our grandparents, and some of them didn't trust banks, and some of them kept their money in a mattress, and some of them didn't want to go to the doctor. The pandemic is changing our minds in the way that the Depression changed their minds.
That's correct.
It's literally putting us in a different mindset. So when we come out the other side of this, we're going to go, oh yeah, like back where we were. I think I'm probably going to still be washing my hands more. And probably be, more considerate of sharing germs and so forth.
Yeah, I come from a big family. Who would have thought every time you walked in and went to the dinner table, your mother would say, wash your hands before you eat?
Yeah.
Watching, I mean, you heard that,
Sure.
you know, and now it is becoming more commonplace. You walk by and you see people go by the dispensers, so you're already seeing people break their molds that where they just would walk into a building, or walk out of a
who
building.
would have thought I'd be putting more alcohol in my hands than I do in my mouth? I mean, who would have thought that, you know? I tell you what, thank you for joining for us for this episode of Hot Springs Village Venues with Mr. Carrol and Miss Cyrie. We'll be back with another episode, and we'll talk more about SHIPP.
Thank you for watching Hot Springs Village Venues. Please stay tuned and follow us on Facebook to see the next episode.